Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. Wherever you're tuning in from around the globe, peace, blessings, financial freedom. Peace, blessings, financial freedom. Peace, blessings, financial freedom. Welcome to the Trillion Dollar Tickers broadcast. I'm your host, Matt Riches. Today is Friday, March 6, 2026, and we have one of the biggest macro mornings of the month, with multiple major labor market reports dropping at the same time, which was 5:30 a.m. This is the type of morning where markets can move quickly, so we want to focus on the initial reaction to the data and see if that holds on throughout the day. Let's get into the macro calendar. So at 5:30 a.m., we had all these red folders. Let me pull it up here for you. Here it is. We had the average hourly earnings month over month. It came in a little bit hotter than expected, which can signal continued inflation pressure. We had core retail sales month over month. It came in a little bit weaker than expected. We had non-farm employment change. This was a major miss, showing a contraction in job growth compared to the expectations. We had retail sales month over month. It's still negative, but a little bit better than forecasted. And then we had the unemployment rate. Unemployment ticked higher than expected, another sign that the labor market may be softening. All right. So basically, stronger wage growth, weaker job creation, slightly higher unemployment. All right. And then later today, as you can see, we got all these FOMC speakers. So it's probably going to be a volatile day today. All right. Next, let's get into the earnings. So we did have one company that had earnings yesterday after market close, and that was Costco. So let's check out Costco. Okay, so Costco, they had a small beat on earnings and a small beat on revenue. And as you can see, it's just down a few dollars from yesterday's close. All right, so let's get into Robert Greene's daily law. Ooh, look at that sell-off for SPX. Let's get into Robert Greene's daily law for March 6, 2026. The gift of the original mind. Do what the mind wants to do. Explore, entertain, and embrace ideas. Robert Greene's lesson here is about reconnecting with what he calls the original mind, the natural creativity and curiosity that every human possesses. Our minds are built to explore, experiment, and constantly form new connections between ideas. Over time, however, people often become comfortable with what they already know and begin resisting new ideas or unfamiliar ways of thinking. This stagnation gradually weakens creativity and makes individuals more replaceable in their fields. Green warns that the fear of failure, criticism, or uncertainty often prevents people from challenging themselves intellectually. But when we seek activity, when we actively seek novelty and continue exploring new perspectives, we keep our minds aligned and adaptable. In the long run, maintaining this creative mindset allows us to remain innovative, competitive, and in control of our own path. For long-term investors, this law encourages intellectual curiosity about markets and industries. Investors who keep an open mind are more likely to identify emerging sectors, new technologies, and structural economic shifts before the broader market recognizes them. If someone becomes too comfortable investing in only familiar companies or outdated strategies, they risk missing transformative opportunities. The best long-term investors constantly study new ideas, new industries, and new investment frameworks. By maintaining a creative and curious mindset, investors can discover opportunities others overlook and adapt their strategies as the economy evolves. For traders, the original mind is about remaining flexible and adaptive in rapidly changing markets. The markets evolve constantly, and strategies that worked yesterday may stop working tomorrow. Traders who become rigid in their thinking often struggle because they cannot adapt to new conditions. Creative thinking allows traders to analyze price action from multiple angles, develop new strategies, and adjust shifting volatility or market structure. The ability to experiment, test ideas, backtest, and learn from mistakes is critical for long-term trading success. In short, the trader who keeps exploring and learning stays ahead of the competition. Respect the levels, respect the volatility, and let price action lead the way. This is Trillion Dollar Tickers, and I'm your host, Matt Riches. All right, give me 1 second so I can finish preparing a live stream. It actually takes about 20 seconds. But just let that game soak in that I was dropping right there while I prepare. All right, let's go. Okay, let's get into the market caps of our $1 trillion tickers. So we have the most valuable company in the world, Nvidia, 4.45 trillion, Apple, 3.82 trillion, Google, 3.64 trillion, Microsoft, 3.05 trillion, Amazon, 2.35 trillion, TSM, 1.83 trillion, Meta, 1.67 trillion, AVGO, 1.57 trillion, Tesla, 1.52 trillion, Berkshire B, 1.07 trillion. And Walmart has fell off the list for today. All right, so let's check out the pre-market levels for our companies, our $1 trillion tickers. All right, so Nvidia currently in the pre-market 179.08. Google, and you can see that downtrend as well. Google 294.60, also in a downtrend. Apple dropped during the pre-market 258.09. Microsoft, big drop in the pre-market 407. Amazon, even bigger drop in the pre-market at 214.13. TSM, everything going down today in the pre-market, y'all. TSM is at 343.98. AVGO, you see it, 325.54. Meta, 650.24. Tesla, back under 400, 399.10. Berkshire B, 499. And actually Walmart did not make the cut, so we taking Walmart off. All right. Let's see if we have any signals in the pre-market. I'm sure we do. I'm sure we got some sell signals here in the pre-market since everything is dropping. But looked like it was early in the pre-market. Let's see. Yeah, we got this signal at 1:20 a.m. This would have been a great call though. 182, that's a $3 move. Yeah. Basically, all these charts look the same, so I'm sure they all got the same signal in the pre-market. But let me get to some news before we go. I thought this was interesting. Michael Burry from The Big Short fame, he said Apple should buy Anthropic. Good culture fit, and Anthropic just started to race ahead. Will be cash flow positive soon. Apple can afford to do it now. And Elon should sell his Tesla shares and put them in an index fund for his kids. Tesla shares are 4 times overvalued at least. The indices are only 2 to 3 times overvalued. Oh, Burry got jokes today. Okay. I need Elon to respond. I'm sure he will if he see this tweet. All right, next. The Pentagon has formally notified Anthropic that it's deemed the company and its products a risk to the U.S. supply chain. So you know what happened with Anthropic. We went over it yesterday. That they refused to give the United States government 100% control over the information, which would have been fully autonomous weapons and full surveillance of U.S. citizens. Anthropic said no, and this is their reaction. And you know that OpenAI stepped up and said they'll do it. So this is the reaction to Anthropic saying no, we're not gonna let y'all do that. So I like Anthropic for that. All right, next. This is from Yahoo Finance. The average annual 401k account balance jumped by double digits for the third straight year. So when Trump be talking about people are doing better under him, this is one of the things that he's talking about. It's probably the main thing that he's talking about. Even though he's only been in office for 1 year, but because we are very close to all-time highs on the indices, then that means people's 401ks are close to all-time highs as well. So that's good though. Shout out to everybody with a 401k that's, moving up double digits for the past 3 years. I know you're enjoying that. All right. This is Trump. This is about Trump. The U.S. giving India a 30-day waiver to buy Russian oil.
The US just gave India a 30-day pass to buy Russian oil, and the reason isn't Russia. It's the crisis in the Middle East. As tensions disrupt energy flows to the Persian Gulf, Washington has now issued a temporary waiver allowing Indian companies to buy Russian crude that was already loaded onto ships before March 5. A 30-day license from the US Treasury now allows those cargoes to be purchased as long as the oil is delivered to India and bought by an Indian firm. The measure expires April 4th. US Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent called the waiver a stopgap measure meant to keep oil flowing into global markets. It only applies to cargoes already stranded at sea, which he said limits any significant financial benefit to Russia. Ship tracking firm Kepler estimates nearly 11 million barrels of Russian crude are sitting on idling tankers in Asian waters, cargoes that could now head to India.
That's what's up. India need that oil, man. You finna stop the whole world trying to get over Trump. Trying to do your dirty work, man. All right, we got about 15 seconds. Y'all get ready. Market finna open. Let's get it. Happy Friday, y'all. Happy Friday. It's been a hell of a week, ain't it? All right, here we go. Market open, market open, market open. The market is open. March 6, 2026, 6:30 a.m. Shout out to everybody on the East Coast that don't got to get up early for the market. I know you enjoy that. All right, let's get into these prices, y'all. Trading dollar tickers. Nvidia is down over 1.5% at 180.32. Oh, we got some alerts on Costco. We got a sell. We got a strong sell on the daily. Anyway, next we have Google is down almost 2% at 295.48. Apple is down over 1.25% at 256.70. Microsoft is up 0.25% at 411.83. Amazon is down almost 1.5% at 215.95. TSM is down 3% at 342.90. AVGO is down fractionally at 332.63. Meta is down 3% at 640, y'all. Tesla is down 2.25% at 396.51. And Berkshire B is down almost 0.5% at 498.51. All right, let's run the numbers on these other tickers we like to look at on the show. SPX is down over 1% at 6,738. SPY is down 1.25% at 672.72. The Nas 100 is down over 1.25% at 24,638. QQQ is down almost 1.5% at 600. Just broke under 600. Pam Bondi's Dow Jones is falling from 50,000, is now at 47,152. Looks like it might break under 47,000 today if we have a really red day. If we have a 2% day, that will happen. All right, the Dow Jones ETF is down over 1.5% at 472.30. The VIX, woo, the VIX is spiking. Wait a minute, that's not good. What's good if you want a discount, but it's bad because your stocks is dropping. All right, next. Damn, the VIX is at 27. The VIX is up 17%. Wow. I do got my weekly level here at 28. It looks like it broke it, but the candle didn't close under it. The candle didn't close over it. But yeah, man. Look at how my levels are doing. Once it broke this level, came back, bounced, perfect. Came up here, rejected, perfect. Shout out to my levels right there. Shout out to my technical analysis skills. All right, 10-year Treasury note. We have this thing been running. Remember, it was under 4 recently. It's definitely been moving to the upside. So at 5:30, when we had all those announcements, we had this major down candle, but it's since recovered and has went beyond the previous top. All right, gold is $5,100 a share, y'all. I mean, an ounce. $5,100 an ounce. Or you could just buy this gold mini shares trust for $101 a share, and you don't got to keep the gold in your house in the safe or in your safety deposit box. All right, silver is up over 1% at $75.10. The copper miners ETF is down over 2.25% at $80.14. AMD is down almost 1% at $197.58. Bitcoin is back under 70,000. Bitcoin is down almost 3% at 68,830, and it's dropping. Now it's 68,800. IBIT is down over 3% at 39.04. Ethereum, looks like Ethereum just broke under $2,000. There it is. And it's dropping. BMNR is down 5%. Back under $20 a share. Palantir is down almost 0.5% at 151.60. And Robinhood, when crypto gets clapped, Robinhood gets clapped. It's down almost 5% at 76.70. All right. So this is our 8 chart layout. Top left hand corner. This is the 8 most valuable companies in the world. Top left hand corner, we have Nvidia. To the right, Google, Apple, Microsoft. Underneath Nvidia, we have Amazon. To the right, TSM, AVGO, and Meta Platforms. All right. Let's get into some more news. So, the Anthropic CEO, who we talked about earlier, there was an internal memo that was leaked, and he used the phrase dictator style praise about Trump. And he's saying it did not reflect his careful or considered views. I'll play a little clip.
For this memo. So yeah, I want to completely apologize for this memo. So I want to make sure that people understand, right? Like this was something written on Friday after the following three things had happened. The president tweeted removing all Anthropic services from the federal government. The Secretary of War tweeted designating us a supply chain risk with a kind of broader version of the designation than the one that ultimately ended up actually being applied. And then there was this deal between one of the other AI model providers and the Department of War that I think even that model provider later described as, I don't remember the exact words, but
opportunistic.
Yeah, I was going to say confusing, right? So basically all these three things happened within a few hours, in kind of sequence, from each other. We didn't know ahead of time what was going to happen, when it was going to happen. So it was among the most disorienting times in Anthropic's history. The other side of it is, I think Anthropic has an internal culture where I post a lot. Like some people describe this as a memo. I wouldn't describe it as that. Like I post things in Slack. I post them a lot. And the culture within the company is that I'm very free, and it's not like a considered, it's not like a really considered or refined version of my thinking, right? It's not what I would.
That's enough. But you get the point. That's dirty that somebody leaked that memo, though. He was just a Slack channel for all the employees, and somebody leaked it. Now they got the CEO apologizing. Man, that's cold. Anyway, next. U.S. oil prices surge above $84 a barrel for the first time since July 2025. Oil prices are now up 55% since December, and the Brent nearing $90. Speaking of oil, let's check out our Iran war watch list. Ooh, yeah, they running. You see that? Damn, look at that gap up right there, y'all. Ooh, I told y'all to buy this. I told y'all there was opportunity. So, look at it. It's a nice gap up from yesterday. It's been running. It's up almost 8% today. That's BNO, the United States Brent Oil Fund. Let's check out the United States Oil Fund, the USO. It's up over 10% today. All these are green, but those are the two grand slams for today. It also has a very nice gap up. XOP, you see it, still moving up from when we called it. You see it. The IEO iShares hit an all-time high today. Check out XLE. XLE dropped a couple at the beginning of the week, but it's starting to recover. Even though it did hit an all-time high on Monday, so that's still good. Lockheed Martin. Okay, now we go into defense. Lockheed Martin hit an all-time high on Monday and has been selling off ever since. Northrop Grumman hit an all-time high on Tuesday and it's been selling off. It halfway filled the gap. Raytheon, actually filled the gap. Hit an all-time high. Sold off and filled the gap. And now it looks like it's headed down more. Chevron hit an all-time high today. Shout out Chevron for hitting an all-time high. And ExxonMobil hit an all-time high on Monday. Sold off and might be headed back to all-time highs. So that's what we got on that, folks. Let's check out some more news. It's not Black History Month anymore, but every month is Black History Month on $1 trillion tickers. So 69 years ago today, Ghana gained independence from the British. Kwame Nkrumah later became its first president. Happy Independence Day, Ghana. Salute to that brother right there. We gotta make a trip to Ghana, y'all, because remember EYL said they was building that community out there, so that'll be dope. That'll be dope. And then we could take a tour of the country. If we go with 19 Keys, we'll probably meet the president. You know, Keys out here meeting presidents, man. Salute to 19 Keys, man. That's super dope. Alright, next. This from Unusual Wales. There are only 1.6 job openings per 100 employees in white-collar service roles. The lowest level since 2025. Alright. Man, so the Iran war is still going on. Here's a little clip. Israel has been striking Hezbollah infrastructure in southern Beirut. Lebanon and waves of U.S. and Israeli strikes have continued to pummel Iran. Yeah, it's still going down out there, y'all. I was going to play this video. I'm going to just give you a...
Showing the opposite of what...
I'm going to just give you a rundown on what happened. It says 19-year-old woman says she made over $100K but refuses to spend it on material things just to look rich. Instead, she's investing it, growing it, and saving it while living a minimalist lifestyle. Now, I thought this was very dope that she would do that, but it didn't say how she got the 100K. So that's why I don't want to play it. But if it's true, how the hell did you get 100K at 19 years old? Because you're so smart to know to invest it and not spend it on material things and have a minimalist lifestyle. It says she was driving like a 20-year-old Toyota Camry. But why? Why not tell us where you got the money from? Because we want to know. Anyway, I thought that was pretty dope. But they did leave out that very important piece of information. All right, next, La Russell. So La Russell, it's a quick clip from La Russell. Here you go.
Me and my pops used to sit in the kitchen having long ass talks. Like, how we gonna do it? How we gonna do it? And we just stuck to that grind. I've done hundreds of shows, 30 plus albums, 1,000 songs released, 2,000 videos on YouTube. This shit really take effort and grind. We didn't cheat none of it. I ain't take no elevator. Every step.
Shout out La Russell, man. Alright, it's we had a 15-minute candle close, so let's run the algo and see if we got any new signals. Looks like we do. We got a buy signal off this first 15-minute candle on Nvidia. The entry was 181.16. The stop loss is 179.64. First price target is 182.68. So that is a fresh signal from the algo, y'all. even though we are red on the day on SPY. So keep that in mind. Let me pull up SPY and the Qs. Yeah, we are red on the day on SPY. So I don't know if you want to trade against SPY, but I just wanted to run these numbers. Yeah, we red on SPY and the Qs, so I wouldn't take that trade, but I'm just giving y'all what the algo says right now. Maybe that means the indices are gonna flip later. But anyway, we had a buy signal here on Google as well. We are right at the entry point, 297.20. Stop loss, 295.18. TP1, 299.21. All right. Apple. What we got on Apple? Do we got a new signal on Apple? Come on. Ah, this shit messed up. Shout out to them beats I made using Suno. That thing slapping on. It's like a storytelling flow. Storytelling beat right here. Anyway, they did not have a new signal. They still had a sell signal from in the pre-market. Let's check out Microsoft. Microsoft had a buy the candle right before market open. So if you had got in on the first one, you would have take profit and you'd have been done trading for the day. But we don't like. We still contemplating if we want to do pre-market signals. I think the pre-market signal right before the market open is probably better than the one way back here. I mean, hours before. Anyway, next, Amazon. It did have a buy signal here at 216.12. Stop loss is 214.99. It did touch the stop loss, but it bounced. So how these signals work are once this next candle closes, if it closes at or below the stop loss, then you would get out. Or if it hits TP1, then you can take profits. But you can wait for the candle to close. Just because it touches it, you can still wait if you want to. All right, next, TSM. Check out TSM, y'all. TSM, no recent signal. AVGO. Oh, they definitely got a signal off this. It's a big candle. Yeah, okay. AVGO had a buy signal at 334.88. It did run up to 337.03, so that was about almost a $3 move before it rejected, and it's since pulling back. But stop loss is at 327.40. Take profit is at 342.27. But remember, SPY and the Qs is negative, so you might not want to trade like that. But I'm just giving y'all what the algo says. No new signal on Meta. Tesla. No new signal on Tesla. And Berkshire B. We did have a strong sell here on Berkshire B off this 15-minute candle. The entry was 494.41. Take profit is 488.12. But I do have this daily level here at 488.80. The stop loss is going to be 500. All right, so those are our levels, y'all. I mean, those are our signals. All right, let's check out. If you're watching on YouTube here, you can see farming robots are no longer experimental. They are deployed, profitable, and reshaping agriculture. In orchards, vineyards, vegetable fields, and beyond, they're tackling labor shortages, precision spraying, and chemical reduction at scale. This is how robotics is quietly becoming the backbone of the next generation of agriculture. And if you're watching on YouTube, you're able to see the video, but you're not able to see it on Facebook. Shout out everybody on YouTube Live and Facebook Live. So basically, Trump deported all the illegal immigrants, and now there's don't have anybody to do all the farming, so now they got robots. So even illegal immigrants can get their jobs taken by AI. Hey, who you heard say that before me? Who you heard say that before me, man? All right, next. I thought this was pretty dope. So a black-owned business in Texas. So a black woman-owned dental office in Houston with an all-black woman doctor team. Elite Dental Wellness, Houston, Texas. If you live in Houston, you should be getting your dental services done by this black-owned dental office, y'all. That's dope. All right. Next. This is from Walter Bloomberg on Twitter. He said, Trump plans U.S. control over global AI chip sales. The Trump administration is drafting rules that would require U.S. approval for nearly all AI chip exports, giving Washington sweeping power over companies like NVIDIA and AMD. The draft framework sets licensing rules based on shipment size, from simplified reviews for small orders to government-level approval for massive deployments, potentially tying exports to security guarantees or U.S. investments. Officials say that the goal is to make American AI the global standard while controlling critical infrastructure, though delays or strict conditions could disrupt international AI projects. Dang, Trump is not playing, yo. Trump is not playing. He said, man, we cannot let China be the number one in AI. We have to be that. And if we got to control all the AI chip exports, then that's what we're going to do, folks. There it is. Next. Oh, I thought this was interesting. This is from Amit, my fellow stock market open creator. Actually inspired me. Yeah, I mean, he said the 5 most dip buy stocks that retail bought in February per JP Morgan was NVIDIA, Palantir, Tesla, Microsoft, and AVGO. How did retail fund these dip buys? They sold one stock in particular in February, and that was Apple. Yeah, shout to bruh, man. I know you was thinking the same thing. I remember you told me, you was like, man, I should just sell this Apple and buy one of these other ones, man. So a lot of retail, they did that. All right, next. I thought this was crazy. So it says, no cameras, no sensor. If you're watching on YouTube, you're able to see this video. It says, no cameras, no sensors, just Wi-Fi reading human movement. Researchers at Carnegie University have developed a system that uses standard Wi-Fi routers to detect human movement through walls without any cameras. By applying AI and a dense pose model, the system turns Wi-Fi signals into detailed maps of body posture in real time. Oh my God. No cameras, no sensors needed. That is crazy, y'all. And you can see it on the video here. That is crazy. All right. That's it for today as far as the news. Yeah. Actually, I have to cut the show short for today. I gotta prepare my lunch for work and stuff like that. It's an early day. But I appreciate y'all for tuning in. Let me run these Instagram before we get out of here. You know how we like to end the show.
You're more blessed than you think. Sometimes you just struggle to realize how much is in front of you because you're constantly thinking about what you have to obtain. The rich person is not the one who has a lot, but the one that has enough. So you should seek to have enough, inshallah.
But I can tell you right now, you can't save or work. So look at the stock market and investing. It's like, I'm not saying you have to invest in the stock market, but I can tell you right now, you can't save or work your way to wealth. And people have, I'm going to save money. Good. How has that gotten you? I'm going to work. Great. That's fine. I have no problem with that. I work in my company too. You cannot solely rely on that. And you can go start your business. I did that too. It took me a very long time to get to where I am. And it's not for everybody, but you can invest in somebody else's business. I'd rather make money off of Amazon continuing to become a multi-trillion-dollar business while I go build my company.
Yes, ma'am.
Said, go get that bag. Go get that bag. Get that bag. Get that bag. Get that bag. Go get that bag. Get that bag. Go get that bag.
It don't happen overnight, and there's gonna be moments when it's really, really frustrating, and there's gonna be moments when it's really, really inspiring and empowering. And if you get too high off the highs and too low off the lows, you're gonna take yourself on a ride that's very uncomfortable. I think it's just about being committed to the work and appreciating it, when it's good, and not stressing too bad when it's bad. Just appreciating the work and staying focused on showing up every day.
And that's what we do here at $1 Trillion Tickers. We show up every day. 6:15 a.m. The market is closed on weekends, and that's when we do our charting. So if you want me to chart a specific stock, just let me know in the comments or hit me on social media, a DM. And yeah, you could give me a list of stocks. It's all good. Because we normally chart the $1 Trillion Tickers, but yeah, we can make this more interactive with the audience. So if there's any particular stocks you want me to chart, I can definitely do that over the weekend. All right, appreciate y'all for tuning in. $1 Trillion Tickers. Peace, blessings, financial freedom. Peace, blessings, financial freedom. Peace, blessings, financial freedom.